I'm a 27-year-old woman who recently got engaged to my fiancé, a 30-year-old man. Last weekend, we hosted an engagement party with our loved ones to celebrate this milestone. For once, I was thrilled to have a moment that was supposed to be about me. My younger sister, whom I'll call Emma, 24, has always been the star of the show in our family. Growing up, she had a knack for stealing the spotlight at every turn. I care for Emma deeply, but her charisma often overshadows my moments. I was hoping this celebration would be different, a chance for my engagement to take center stage. For context, I recall my high school graduation party being overtaken by Emma's announcement of winning a local contest, right during my speech. On my 21st birthday, she had an emotional outburst over something trivial, and my parents spent the evening consoling her instead of celebrating with me. That's just how it's always been. My milestones often take a backseat to hers. The engagement party was held at my parents' house, a relaxed backyard gathering with a buffet and music. About 30 to 40 people attended, mostly family and a few close friends. The mood was joyful at first, and we were gearing up to cut a cake a friend had brought for the occasion. But then my stomach started acting up, likely from some dubious tacos I'd eaten the day before, so I slipped away to the bathroom for maybe 5 minutes. In those brief moments, Emma seized the opportunity to make the event about her. According to my fiancé and a couple of friends, as soon as I was gone, she stood up, clinked her glass, and declared she had huge news to share. By the time I returned, the party's focus had shifted entirely. I stepped back into the yard to find everyone cheering and gathered around Emma. I was bewildered, sensing the atmosphere had changed. A cousin rushed over, exclaiming, "Isn't it amazing? Emma just announced she's expecting." I was stunned. There was Emma, glowing with pride, holding her husband's hand and touching her stomach, as guests showered them with congratulations. The engagement cake, moments from being cut, was pushed aside, forgotten. Some guests, including my friends and fiancé's family, looked uneasy, likely realizing this wasn't right. But most of my family was caught up in the excitement, clapping and fawning over Emma's news. My mom was already in full grandmother mode, embracing Emma with tears of joy. It felt like my engagement had been erased in an instant. I was livid, but tried to keep my composure to avoid a scene. I forced a smile, walked over to Emma, and offered a quick congratulations. My face was probably flushed, and my tone was likely flat because I was barely holding it together. Emma hugged me and said, "Sorry, I just couldn't keep it in. I had to share." I mumbled something non-committal in response. The rest of the night was a haze. What was meant to be our engagement celebration turned into Emma's pregnancy announcement party. Guests kept approaching me saying things like, "Don't be upset, this is joyful family news," which felt condescending, as if they were dictating my emotions. My parents barely interacted with me or my fiancé after that, too busy doting on Emma and her husband. I felt like a guest at my own event. We never got to the planned toast or cake cutting. My friend quietly sliced the cake for people to grab, but the moment was gone. I lingered on the sidelines with my fiancé and a few friends, watching the focus stay on Emma. I left the party as soon as I could, still upset and feeling unwell. That night, my mom texted me about how wonderful the evening was and how thrilled she was to become a grandmother. That stung deeply. Once home, I let out all my pent-up anger and frustration. I vented to my fiancé, maybe even shedding a few tears of exasperation. He was supportive, equally shocked by Emma's actions. He mentioned he thought about intervening during her announcement, but was caught off guard by how quickly it unfolded. A close friend texted later, saying she was appalled by Emma's blatant hijacking of the event and wouldn't have blamed me for kicking her out right then. That validation helped me feel less alone in my anger. That night, I messaged Emma expressing how hurt I was. I told her it felt like she deliberately chose the moment I was gone to make her announcement. Her response: "I'm sorry you feel that way, but it wasn't intentional. I was just too excited." It didn't feel like a genuine apology. The next day, still fuming, I decided to uninvite Emma from my wedding. For context, she was supposed to be a bridesmaid, but I couldn't stomach including her after this. That decision didn't sit well with the family. Some relatives, including an aunt, told me I was overreacting and should excuse Emma because she's pregnant, as if hormones justified her actions. I wasn't convinced. I believe there need to be consequences, or she'll keep thinking this behavior is acceptable. My fiancé fully supports my choice. He was just as appalled and respects my decision to exclude her. Some friends have backed me, saying Emma was out of line, but parts of my family, especially on my mom's side, think I'm being petty. To clarify, I'm thrilled about Emma's pregnancy and excited to be an aunt. My issue is solely with how and when she chose to announce it, stealing my moment. So, am I wrong for uninviting my sister from my wedding after she turned my engagement party into her pregnancy announcement? Update 1, to address some questions. Why didn't I confront Emma at the party? I was too shocked and didn't want to escalate things in front of everyone. I thought it better to handle it privately later, which I did. Did my mom know about the announcement? She claims she was as surprised as everyone else, but I'm skeptical. She didn't seem upset by it. Is this typical for Emma? To some degree, yes. She's often made things about herself, though this was the most egregious instance. In the week after the party, Emma has been relentless, calling and texting me constantly. I answered her first call, hoping for a sincere apology or calm discussion. Instead, she lashed out, screaming that I was blowing things out of proportion and even using a slur, calling me a moron for uninviting her. She said, "You're being such a moron. I didn't mean to steal your thunder, I was just excited." I told her I wouldn't tolerate being spoken to like that and hung up. She kept calling, leaving hostile voicemails and sending angry texts, insisting I was overreacting and that she didn't mean to overshadow me. There was no real apology, just defensiveness and attacks. I muted her messages for my peace of mind. My fiancé, after hearing that first call, was livid and suggested blocking her number temporarily, which I did. Before blocking her, I sent one final message, saying I wouldn't engage unless she could be respectful. Her reply was more insults, so I followed through with the block. Her husband has stayed silent, not reaching out once. I'm not sure if he's embarrassed or fully supporting her, but I doubt he'll mediate. The drama has now spread to the rest of the family. Update 2. I learned from a cousin that Emma has been spreading a distorted version of events to anyone who will listen. She's telling people I'm acting unhinged about my wedding, implying I'm hormonal or irrational. She's even claiming I'll get over it soon and apologize to her. She posted vaguely on social media about some people not valuing family, clearly targeting me. Hearing this only solidified my resolve to stand firm. I haven't confronted her about her smear campaign, as it'd likely lead to another fight. I got a call from my grandmother who scolded me, saying, "This isn't how I raised you girls." She likely only heard Emma and Mom's version of the story. I've explained my side to those who ask, and some understand, but others push the family is family line, urging me to let Emma attend for peace's sake. The family is now divided, with many relatives buying into Emma's narrative without hearing the full story. I'm standing my ground. This wasn't a tantrum, she crossed a major line. Wedding planning, which should be joyful, feels overshadowed by this conflict. Update 3, weeks later my mom finally got involved, as I expected. With my parents divorced, my mom's side has always favored Emma, often excusing her behavior. My dad stays out of the drama. Mom called, demanding we talk. With months until the wedding, this issue was already tainting the process. The call started calmly but spiraled. Mom threatened not to attend if I didn't re-invite Emma, calling my reaction foolish and dismissing Emma's actions as a small misstep. I explained how Emma hijacked my party, but Mom told me to manage my feelings, even suggesting I was hormonal. I was floored she'd reduce my valid anger to that time of the month. I retorted that this wasn't about hormones, but about Emma's selfish behavior. Mom insisted I was failing as a sister and that the family was disappointed in me for excluding Emma. She claimed everyone was shocked I'd banned my sister over one night. When I pointed out Emma's lack of a real apology, Mom brushed it off, saying I should move on for family harmony. She reiterated her threat to skip the wedding. That hurt, but I responded calmly, "I'd love for you to be there, Mom, but that's your choice." She accused me of being stubborn and hung up. Now my mom is siding with Emma, threatening to boycott my wedding. I didn't expect this level of escalation. I called my dad, who knows about Emma's favored status. He supports me, is disgusted by Mom's ultimatum, and promised to attend no matter what. He took me to lunch to check on me, saying he's proud I'm standing up for myself. Some of his relatives have also reached out, confirming they'll attend. I'm adjusting wedding plans, assuming Mom, Emma, and their supporters won't come. It was tough revising the guest list and seating chart. My fiancé reassures me we'll have a great day with those who truly support us. I'm trying to focus on that, not the drama. Update 4, final. The wedding happened without Emma or about half my family. Mom followed through on her boycott, despite my grandmother's pleas for her to attend. Several relatives, mostly from Mom's side, also didn't come. One aunt wrote on her RSVP that she couldn't support me for abandoning Emma. I heard they held their own gathering that day. Seeing empty seats on my side hurt, especially Mom's, but I focused on those who were there. The ceremony was beautiful, filled with love from those present. My dad gave a touching toast, filling the void left by Mom's absence. When guests asked about Mom or Emma, I simply said they couldn't make it. My dad, best friend, and new mother-in-law stepped up, making me feel cherished. By the end of the night, watching our loved ones dance, my husband and I felt it was a perfect day despite the absences. Since then, Emma has used family gatherings to paint me as the villain, claiming I abandoned her during her pregnancy. She omits her role in the conflict, framing me as irrational. At a recent event I skipped, a cousin said Emma dominated the night, bad-mouthing me. When someone asked why I uninvited her, another cousin tried to clarify, but the room sided with Emma, so he backed off. I'm done defending myself to those who won't listen. My dad and his side support me, understanding my stance. My relationship with Emma and Mom is currently non-existent. They didn't acknowledge my wedding, and I haven't reached out either. I'm open to reconciliation if they offer genuine apologies, but I won't chase respect. Emma's baby is due soon, and I'm unsure if I'll be part of my niece or nephew's life, which saddens me. My in-laws have been incredibly welcoming, filling the gap left by my family. It's not the resolution I wanted, but I married my soulmate, and our wedding was unforgettable for the right reasons.